Hello Libra, this is Michelle and I'm here to do your February 2020 tarot reading. We're using the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck by US Games, and I'm also bringing back for you St. Agnes. This is from the Voices of Saints by Lo Scarabeo, and we pulled that card for you in December. We were going to read up a little bit about the saints over December, and I've actually been reading about them for a few months now, actually. So I'll bring that up. I'll talk a little bit about her at the end of your reading. All right, this is a reading for Libra, our Libra friends, month of February 2020. Our Libra friends, let's take a look. Wow, all right. Kind of an uneven cut there. Interesting. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, this is interesting. So Libra, I feel that some of you, let's say over the past few months even, have been really doing everything within your power to stay on top of things. This suggests to me that the Libras have been very hard at work. I'm picking up almost like an unimaginable amount of work to keep things together. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else we have. And here's the Hierophant. Okay, very interesting coming up, covering you, suggesting to me the idea of routine at this point. And so some of you, I think, in the month of February are just perhaps just now getting back into a routine. I want to say that's what I'm picking up from this. Let's continue though. And now the Knight of Swords, but all right, it may be a little difficult for you to pick up the energy in February. Let's say that. January was a really difficult month for many of us. And this is because, I should say it's reflected in the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which was exact in January. This was a really tough time, as I said, for many of us, and it could be that we're having just a little bit of trouble getting back into that routine. You know, the routine of life is calling us back. That's a good thing. We have to get back into the routine, but the level of energy to just really attack things might be just not really readily available at this moment. And I'm going to say, you know what, that's okay. Some of us really expended a lot of energy, I want to say, really over December and January. Libra has a tendency to go, 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 and then sort of just like crash, right? And so vacillate between these two extremes. This is, so Libra is very, very, very busy, or there are a lot of demands placed on Libra, and then Libra has to take some time out to rest in order to find equilibrium. And so this could be a time when you are trying to get back into things, but the energy perhaps isn't as high as you need it to be. The Eight of Wands coming in now just confirms that, exactly what I just said. I don't even actually need to repeat it because it just underscores this. I will say, though, it does point out that it's possible that there are just a lot of demands on Libra at this time, and you would like to see the energy a little bit higher. Now we have the Knight of Pentacles in the foundation. Beautiful to see. I think this is telling me, Libra, it's okay. It's okay if you have to take some time out and rest, because everything is ready for you at any time to just get back into it. You've got things all prepared. How wonderful to know that you can just take some time off and then get back into things and pick right up, because you have so much advanced preparation already in place, if that makes sense. And now we have the High Priestess coming in. I feel that for many of the Libras over these past few months, the trials or the difficult times that may correspond to that Saturn-Pluto conjunction have raised our level of spirituality, I want to say. And at times it could be that we almost have felt like we weren't even connected to this earth plane. There are really otherworldly things going on over the past few months, possibly pertaining to difficulties. But you know, Libra, let me say this, you rose to the occasion. That's what I am picking up. You rose to the occasion, to the level of spirituality, to the level of compassion, to the level of understanding and tolerance that was needed in order to take care of the situation. And now we have the King of Wands coming in. You know, I'm happy to see this for you, Libra, because it is telling me that, you know, the energy is going to come back. Replenish yourself in whatever way you can in the month of February. Taking beautiful walks in nature, making sure you're drinking enough water, eating wonderful food, having some just nice downtime with friends. I'm picking this up because for the sign of Libra, these are the kind of things that I believe can just recharge the batteries, so to speak, and the energy is going to come back. We have the Judgment card coming in. All right, very interesting, suggesting that Libras are feeling a strong calling at this time. A calling, I want to say, to take care of all the things that need taking care of in this world. This really has to do with, I wouldn't be surprised if justice came right, which is a sign representing Libra, but I'm connecting it to judgment. I'm feeling like there are just things happening in the world right now, or perhaps in your immediate sphere that you are looking at and you're seeing, you know, this isn't right, or this isn't fair, or things could be better here. And I feel that you are called to take care of those situations, to involve yourself and to act in some way. This also is a beautiful thing relating to the High Priestess and what I had to say about this. But if you have been very involved of making things better, this can also be a little bit of a drain on the energy. And the Nine of Swords reflects exactly what I was just saying here. Libra, I think for some of us, it is though we are looking out into the world, we can see everything that needs to be corrected or that could be better. And this can really sort of take a toll on us. And it's almost like I'm picking up this feeling of, you know, day after day, night after night, I'm looking around and what I am seeing is not fair or right, and I want to fix it. But perhaps, Libra, these are things that are more than one individual can handle. But for Libras, I think that it can weigh on them anyways. Even if you know that you alone cannot handle it, just seeing that picture can be somewhat of a weight. And here we have the Three of Cups coming in. I'm happy to see this, Libra, because of course what it is saying is that you yourself would like to lighten the load. Let me put it that way. You are aware. It is not as though you aren't aware of your own condition or times when you need to take a little time off, to have fun with friends, as I said, engage in a little celebration of sorts, because it is good for the soul. I'm happy to see that because it suggests to me a lot of awareness on the part of Libra, self-awareness in the month of February. I am going to bring in one astrological note that backs that up, and it is that your ruling planet Venus will be in Aries in the month of February. And this absolutely underscores the idea of self-love, of taking care of the self, of turning thoughts inward. What is it that I need for myself right now? For healing, for happiness, just to feel better. This is not only, I want to say perfectly acceptable, but even called for in the month of February. Now we have the King of Pentacles coming in. I'm happy to see this too, Libra, because it suggests to me that before too long, you're going to feel a little bit more grounded and rooted, a little bit more back into that routine of life without it feeling as though you just don't have the energy to take care of everything. Now, I realize that this is really kind of feels actually like a pretty specific message. Of course, won't pertain to all of the Libras, but for those of you resonating, that is what I'm seeing. You might check out one of the other signs if this didn't seem to hit for you. But for right now, I want to go on to St. Agnes because this was the saint that came up for you in December. And I have been reading up on the saints. Her story is very similar to many of the stories about these ancient martyrs, these ancient saints. And what is typical of many of them is that they were known for their physical beauty. She was absolutely just a breathtakingly beautiful young girl. She was born into a wealthy family in Rome, and many noblemen in Rome at that time, of course, were interested in St. Agnes for marriage. But at a very young age, even as a child, she refused these men, claiming that she would be devoted only to a heavenly spouse, Jesus. Well, these men accused her of being a Christian to the authorities of the town. This is also common for these martyr stories. She went to trial, and she could not be persuaded to give up this devotion to Christ. She was threatened with all kinds of cruel types of torture, but she would not give in. Her faith was absolutely steadfast. As a consequence, she was sentenced to a brothel, to become a prostitute. But the men who came to the brothel, when they saw her and her face, it was just glowing with this holiness. And the men could not bring themselves to come near her. And I think that is just depicted beautifully in this card. As the story goes, there was only one man who did attempt to get near her, and he was struck down by a flash of light. This flash of light blinded him, and St. Agnes healed him, giving him back his sight. This was the first miracle. These flashes of light are also known to some of the other stories, such as St. Barbara, which we had come in for many of the signs at this channel. Well, the chief prosecutor ended up condemning her to be beheaded. And at this point, she was actually happy to go to her death because she knew that she was going to see her beloved Jesus. She was not afraid. She had no fear. After her death, many miracles and graces have been received through intercession by St. Agnes. I want to mention something, about the connection to Libra, and I think it is this. The sense of beauty, not only physically. Libras are known not only for their appreciation for beauty, but also many Libras are very physically beautiful. That is actually a Libra trait. And so it's interesting that she is coming into this reading for your sign. At the same time, the appreciation of beauty is also a Libra trait. What I want to suggest for the Libras that perhaps had a little bit of a difficulty in December and January. I have a Libra rising. It's very strong in my chart, and I know December and January were very trying for me. And I am going to recommend that you pray to St. Agnes for intercession on your behalf, simply to help you lighten the load, or for any reason, to bring her in to help restore your faith. Above all, that's really what she represents, this astonishing amount of faith and belief in knowing that Christ is with her and that everything will be okay. All right, Libra, I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel for another reading. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'll see you next time.